Hey you guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to adjust bait casting reels to make your life easier. Now, all bait casting reels are a little bit different brand to brand, but for the most part, you have two ways to control them, sometimes a third. The first way is this little knob here, this little round knob on every reel. That's going to control your spool tension. The spool itself, it has room to move inside the reel. But as you increase this tension, let me decrease it. Now there's some play in that spool. It's hard for you to see, I'm sure, but there's some knock in that spool. As you tighten that up, that knock goes away. It gets tighter and tighter and tighter. What that does is it makes it harder for that spool to turn. Standard bait caster adjustment is that you click your bail, and as you watch your bait fall, you adjust this knob tighter until you have a controlled fall. See how that jig is just lowering itself down? That little too loose there. Nice, slow, controlled fall. That's the standard practice. We don't do that at all. It's not how we adjust our reels. If you're new to bait casting, it is actually a great way to do it. The other thing that you'll do is you'll open your side plate. Now every reel's a little different, but we'll pop that side plate open. You're gonna have some sort of a braking system. This is a Shimano Sitica. So in here, you've got 4 brakes. Some reels have magnets instead of brakes. But if you're new to bait casting, 2 on, 2 off. And they're labeled on and off. 2 on, 2 off. If you're having a lot of trouble, you go to 3 on, 1 off. But usually 2 and 2 is going to be best. And then that side control, I'm going to go to where she's dropping super slow, and then I'm going to loosen it up to where she'll fall. If you're new, that's where I would fish that reel, to where it's not a controlled fall anymore. Here's the controlled fall. Open it a little bit more. What that's allowing you to do is still have most of the control of your bait, but not all of it. Now, why do we not want to be in full control? Reels can do so much for you, but they have their limitations. There's a lot more that you can do for yourself. What I mean by that is your thumb control, the tension that you adjust with your thumb over the course of a day or a week or a month of fishing, you will catch more fish with a looser reel. The reason for that is, say I'm working over some cover, right? And I'm picking my bait up over rocks, and then I free spool and I let it drop. If I have a bunch of spool tension on and I let off, my bait really doesn't drop. There's not enough pressure when that bait's in the water to actually pull line out. So the bait will pendulum. It will swing away from the cover, meaning that my bait is leaving the strike zone. I'm not staying in front of my fish. Does that make sense? You're literally causing your bait to fall out of where you want it to be when your reel is tight. Now there's a balance, because if you're a brand new fisherman and you're backlashing constantly, you are also not putting your bait in front of the fish. And we realize that. So that's why either that 2 and 2 or 3 and 1, and then that setting on the other side. Now some reels will also have another little adjustment. This one does. You can dial it in a little further. If you're brand new, I'd probably set that little dial on a 3, which is halfway. It's a 1 to 6. So set that guy on 3, you're good to go. Now as you improve and as you get more comfortable with that reel, you need to loosen that up. Where we set our reels, at least I assume Tim sets his the same way I do, I'm almost positive. We open those reels up just across the board on every reel I get. Here's how I do it. if I can open this side plate. Come on. I said open. I can't get a hold of it with my nails. I have no nails. Alright, well for now we'll switch back to this other one. Same one we just had open. For me, the way I do my adjustment, open that side plate, and I go 1 on, 3 off. So off, 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 on. 3 off, 1 on. Then I take that tension on my spool and I loosen it up until I have actual slop in that spool again, where I can feel that side-to-side knock in that spool. I tighten it to where that knock goes away, then I back it off a half turn. And I have good, solid knock in that reel. Basically what I've done, there is just enough tension in there in the braking system to keep the reel from just going ballistic, from just blowing up every time. I have a little bit of braking. But my cast control, or my tension knob rather, backed off completely. My thumb is in full control of what happens with this spool. Then if you happen to have that extra dial, every reel's a little bit different, I'll knock that all the way down to a 1 or a 2. So basically nothing at all. So now when I click that thing and I let go, that jig is just a bullet, just straight to the bottom. I mean, full speed, just crashing. So when I cast it, I need to be more careful. The reel is going to want to backlash. All you need to do is keep steady thumb pressure. So when I'm casting, from the moment I let that bait go, I never take my thumb all the way off. I'm always pressing a little bit. Then at the end of that cast, I stop it hard with my thumb. But when you do that, you're now in full control of that reel. It allows me to cast significantly farther. When I'm fishing in and around cover, if I click that bail open, that bait is falling like a bullet. I'm holding tight to that cover. I'm never penduluming out. I'm never falling off the slope, never swinging away from my fish. And then the other one that is really important to me, the other detail, is that when you have a lot of control in your reel, there's a lot of, I don't even know the word for it. I'm going to call it positive tension in that reel. Meaning that when I try to make it do something, it's not going as hard or as far or anything as I know it can. I can feel that reel fighting me, right? It's keeping the spool tight. It's keeping the tension on. It's limiting what I can do. And I can actually feel that reel working through the line because I fish all the time. I am in tune with my gear. I can feel the resistance, that positive resistance in the reel. If you fish a lot, feeling that resistance will drive you up the wall because you only sense so much, right? Everything's going through my hand. Everything that's happening out there is going through that rod, into my hand, into my brain. If part of my hand and part of what I can feel is taken up with feeling what's going on with the reel itself, with that tension, because it is a tangible feel. It is literally taking away from me being able to feel what's happening at the end of the line. Whether that's a bite, whether that's dragging across a little bit of gravel, whatever it may be, it's actually taking away from that and it's limiting what I can feel. I don't want that positive feel in a reel, personally. Now everybody's different, but again, personally, I do not want that feel. I want totally loose, when I click that bail, total free spool, controlled with my thumb. So there's no mechanical feel to anything, there's no tension to anything. I'm creating the tension, I'm controlling the tension, and it has completely eliminated all of that extra, I'm gonna call it sound, but it's not sound, it's vibration coming up that line into my hand, you eliminate all that and there is just more room for you to feel. And you really are, on a loose reel, you really are connected to your bait better. I know when my bait is on mud, I know when it's on gravel, I know when it's on grass, and I know when it's in a fish's mouth. And when I tighten everything up, I don't necessarily know those differences. I'm gonna let this helicopter go over us right now. All right, he's gone. So again, it's a trade-off, because if you try to loosen a spool up like I'm telling you to do, and you haven't developed the feel in your hand to control that spool, it is a nightmare for you. You will backlash every cast, every flip, every time. So don't be afraid to start with a tight reel. Start with it tight, then slowly loosen those controls until you find the balance where you're getting the best feel and minimal backlashes. I do still backlash my reels sometimes. I keep them so loose. Everything's in my hand, so I still make mistakes and I still backlash, and I'm totally fine with that because I'm maximizing my feel and my effectiveness on the bottom. It's a trade-off. So start tight, begin loosening your gear up until you get to where you start backlashing too much, and then bring it back just a little bit. That's gonna be your sweet spot. Your sweet spot will change over time. But for most really good fishermen that fish with bait casters a lot, one break on, minimal spool tension, that's where you wanna be for almost everything. I hope that helps you guys. We'll give you links to all this gear in the video description. We appreciate the support. You know, we're out here doing this to support you guys. We appreciate that you're supporting us as well. We are so excited to continue growing this channel. We are, as of today, at 48,000 subscribers. I don't know where it will be when you guys see this video, but we are shooting for 100,000 this year. You guys are making that happen. We appreciate it so much. The more we grow, you're gonna see the videos get more intricate because we're able to give more time back to it. You're gonna see Tim's work with the editing go through the roof. You guys haven't seen what that guy's capable of doing. It's just that in the past, we weren't able to justify the time. He's at work constantly doing this in his spare time. As this is growing and growing and growing, we're able to justify more time to it. You're gonna see the quality of the editing go up, the quality of the places we're fishing, and the size of the fish is gonna change. We're excited to grow this channel with you guys. We appreciate your support. We'll talk to you soon.